Happy Sunday, grade fives! Welcome to week 8 of e-learning. You guys are progressing so well. I feel like the time is going by so fast. I don't know about you. I can't believe we're already on week 8, but we are. So happy week 8. Happy Sunday. Today for math, it's going to be a very short lesson. So this video in itself is going to be very short. Now, obviously you should have. If you haven't, then you're late and you're behind, and that's unfortunate. But hopefully everyone has finished their check-in for math from from Thursday. You finished it. You either finished it Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, but you finished it. If you haven't, please go do that now. It's already late. It's late because it was due yesterday. But after doing that, you probably realize I didn't ask you to make a graph, right? I only asked you to tell me the different parts of a graph. I've asked you to tell me, look at a graph and read a graph and tell me the interpretations of a graph, but I didn't ask you to make it because I couldn't, obviously you can't do that online. Instead, I'm going to be making an assignment today. So just like you've been posting your assignments for moral education and social studies, you're going to make a graph today, and I'll tell you what it is in a moment, and then you're going to submit it. So you're gonna have to do it in your math notebook. You're going to take a picture of it, and then you're gonna send it to me. I'm gonna mark that because I couldn't ask you to do it on a quiz online because you can't. Well, I can't from my end. So then I'm going to, because I need to know that you can make a graph. That's a very, very important skill. You're going to need it for grade 6 and 7 and onwards. So I need to know that you know all the different the 5 parts of a graph. I know that you know how to draw. I know you need to know the spacings, where everything goes. So I need to see that. So today, all I'm going to do, just do a quick, probably going to be only 5 to 10 minute video. Quick review of the 5 elements, what it looks like when you're drawing the data, and then what are the things that we can interpret from it. Okay, so let me just turn this around. We're going to review how to take data. So when I'm given some form of information about some topic, and I've been given 2 different criterias, and I can make a double bar graph. And then after today's quick review and quick video, you're going to do a question. I'm going to post it on Edmodo. You're going to do the question, and then you're going to take a picture of it and hand it in. So it's not an assignment, it's not a quiz, it's like a homework question that I need you to do, and I need you to submit it. So you'll have to do it in your math notebooks because I need to see grid paper, and then you're going to take a picture of it and submit it. But let's just quickly review. So obviously you have to start with some sort of data. So you have to be given some data. Here I've been given favorite school subjects. So I've asked someone who went around and asked different subjects, so math, science, language arts, social studies, and asked 2 different groups. Asked the girls and then asked boys. Remember, in order to draw a double bar graph, you have to have 2 different sets of data. If I just had girls, what kind of a graph can I make? You can make a single bar graph, right? You can put this subjects, you can have the different girls, but as soon as you have 2 sets of data, not just one, when you have 2, right away you know, I can make a double bar graph. So remember all the different elements of a graph, right? So first you always want to start off with a title. Let me zoom in a little. So we can just, maybe this way. Okay. So you always want to start off with a title. I'll just move this. So you always want to start off with a title. So this says favorite school subjects, okay, which is obviously the question you've asked or just the topic that you're discussing. Then, so that's number 1 element. Number 2 is your X and Y axes. So remember, this is your Y axis and this is your X axis. And they always each have 2 separate headings. So the Y axis, let's look at that, will most likely be your numbers. It doesn't always have to be your numbers, but it's a good rule of thumb to just keep this consistent, keep this as your numbers, okay? So, and that's what I've done here. So I said number of students. When you're choosing the interval, so when I'm choosing my scale, remember, you can either go up by 1s or 2s or 3s or 4s or 5s. So here in this scale, I've gone up by 4s. So I went 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. That's up to you based on your data. So if you look at your data for a moment, a good idea is to look at your smallest number and your largest number. So what is my smallest amount of data, right? The smallest one happens to be 12. So I know I need to have at least 12 here. And my largest number happens to be 33. So I need to know that it needs to go at least high as 33 or a little more. So obviously you start at 0. So my smallest one, I will always definitely need 12. And it needs to go all the way to 33. And always a little bit more, right? So you could have gone up by 2s, you could have gone up by 3s. It's up to you, but it depends on basically the information you have. So I've decided to go up by 4. So I went every grid box is 4, okay? Then I had my x-axis, which is my subjects. So I labeled it math, science, language arts, social studies. Now, please notice, and this is very, very important, the spacing. Do you notice how there's 1 bar space here, then 2 bars, right, for girls, boys, 1 space, 2, 1 space, 2, 1 space, 2. That, it's not a coincidence. It has to have spacing. You can't have all the bars squished together. That is not, you will lose marks. So you do need to have the spacing. Whether it's 1 or 2, it doesn't matter. Maybe you want to leave 2. Maybe you really want to stretch it out, and it's fine because you have large enough paper to do that. But at least 1 bar is necessary to have spacing. You do not put space between the girls and the boys. So do you notice how the 2 bars, the bars themselves have to be touching, but between each subject, you have to have a space. Okay, so please be careful because I'm nervous when you do your assignment, you're not going to put the spacing. So please put a space, then put your data, then 1 space, then your data, space, data, space, data. And remember, if I've decided to do 1 bar space here, then I have to be consistent, right? We like to have the same thing. We don't want to have 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 1. It's all the same because it's supposed to look very neat. Right? So if you're a messy individual, then you need to be paying more attention to this. It has to be very, very neat. Then you have your number 4. So we've done our title, 1. We've done our X and Y axis, 2. We've done our interval, 3. And then 4 is the legend, right? So I've decided to make a dark gray represent girls. So my data, anything that is dark gray represents girls. And then anything that is this light gray represents boys. Okay? Then you're just graphing them, right? Number 5, the 5th element of a graph is just your actual data, right? So that's basically looking at this. So for math, I had 24 girls. Let's double check. So I'm at 0, I go all the way to 24, I draw that, yep, that's correct. And I make sure I've colored it dark gray to represent girls. And that's what I've done, right? So that's all I'm going to discuss today. You're going to be, after this video, I want you to go do 1 question and I'll post on Edmodo what the question is. I want you to take the information, I want you to draw a graph just like this in your notebook, in your math notebook with grid paper. And then go on Edmodo, you'll see an assignment for today. It's your check-in. It's just so I can see you know how to draw a graph. Take a picture of it, submit it. It's due by the end of today. Once we're done this, tomorrow we're starting with probability. We're finally moving on to looking at possibilities, how we talk about spinners. We're looking at the probability and the likelihood of some things happening. So today is the last day of bar graphs. Now, if you have any questions about graphing or drawing or interpreting graphs, please ask me now before we move on tomorrow, because we're still talking about collecting data, but not so much graphing. We're not going to be graphing information. So if you're confused about bar graphs or intervals or anything related to bar graphs or double bar graphs, please ask me today so that tomorrow when we start the new section of this unit, you can start fresh and not feel like, oh, I don't remember how to draw a double bar graph. I don't know how to choose a scale. So whatever your questions are, please ask me today, and then hand that question in. It's 1 question. There's no way everyone shouldn't be able to do it. So today, like literally, it's only 7 minutes so far. This video, you just have to watch the short little video, do that 1 math question, and then you're done for math. Okay? So that's about it. That's literally it for today. I just wanted to review all the elements, the 5 elements of a graph, and then we're done. And then tomorrow we'll move on to probability. So if you have any questions, please message your teachers or message me, and then I will talk to you soon. Okay? And make sure you get that question done. It's I posted the question, what number it is, on Edmodo. So go check your folder for day 1 math. Okay? Have a lovely day. Bye, grade 5s.